Hey everybody, it's another episode of A Piece of Molly's Mind. I am the host, Molly Gabler. Thank you for joining me. Couple things I want to talk about before my interview today. I want to follow up on my accident and my insurance. I have an update on that where my insurance company, in addition to the car cost of repairs, my out-of-pocket expenses were about $2,500. There was the additional hotel room because we had to stay an extra night because we couldn't get our car, the rental car, until Monday, and so we had to sleep over Sunday. There was Uber rides from the accident to the hotel. And there could have been a ton other things, like all the dinner and the lunch that we had to have for staying an extra day. New York City is not cheap. Then an airline ticket for my husband to head back to Jersey to get the car, him driving home, the expense for him driving home. So I was to submit all those to my insurance company, which I did, and I have receipts for everything. And I think it was, I don't know what my final, maybe let's just say $2,000. I don't have the exact number. And this shouldn't shock anybody because of how this entire thing has been going. They sent me this list, let's say hotel, they're only going to cover, I think our hotel was $250. Now this is New York City, and I'm telling you, we did not stay at the Ritz-Carlton. I didn't say, my insurance company is going to cover it, so let's get the most expensive. We just found a room. We had no idea we were staying, so we were kind of just last second trying to find a room. So I think it was like $250, which is very, very good for New York City. And the response from my insurance company is, we're only going to cover X amount. I want to say it was like $130, maybe $99. I don't know. Because we only cover you, your daughter, and the kids aren't covered under the insurance company. Which I then responded, okay, hotels don't charge you based on people. The room is $250 regardless if it's me staying in it or my daughter and I staying in it. So I don't know where that came from. They didn't cover my husband's flight or his Uber to go pick up the car that we left in New Jersey to be fixed because some jackass hit us. And they explained something about the fact that it wasn't me picking up the car, which I expressed to her multiple times prior to sending my husband, hey, I'm not going. I don't feel comfortable driving 7 hours right now because I just got in a 3-car accident. And I'm not there yet. And she, oh yeah, no, we understand. And then all of a sudden you're going to tell me you're not covering it because I didn't go and pick up my car? My husband's on the insurance. I don't even understand that. I do have a response email in my inbox that I have not had a moment to read. And at the end of the day, they're covering like $230 out of $2,500. So that's kind of par, right? My car cost $23,000, and God knows what Progressive, which is the guy that hits me insurance, God knows what he is going to be covering. And then the end line says you'll have to submit them all to the insurance company, the at-fault insurance company, which we know how that's going to play out. I'm telling you, it is annoying. It is fucking annoying and pisses me off. So that's a little follow-up on the insurance company. I had my first, I'm going to call it a fan encounter, and we're just going to go with that, okay? I was having dinner with my family. It was last Tuesday when we launched the second episode with my dear, sweet Miss Katie. And I had someone come up to our table and say, oh my gosh, I watched your podcast and I'm just so happy to see everybody is safe from the accident, which tells me that she did watch it, and just said how much she enjoyed my podcast. So she left, we chatted, she left, and I looked at my daughter and said, can I consider that my first fan encounter? She said yes. And so I had my first fan encounter. So I love it. So if you see me in public, would you please come up to me and tell me you listen to the podcast so I can have multiple fan encounters? Also, please don't just watch the podcast. Make sure that you like or follow me on Facebook and Instagram, or do me even one better and go over to YouTube, to my YouTube channel, which is also A Piece of Molly's Mind, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would super help me. Okay. We saw Wicked. Yes, I will have, I'm a huge fan. I have to tell you, I was a little nervous at the beginning of the movie because it was it seemed, I shouldn't say it seemed very AI. There was one scene where they're in Oz, and I'm not spoiling anything, so continue to watch, where they're throwing out flyers and they're kind of falling down from the sky and people are catching them to get the news, which I would love to get back to that. I think that kind of sounds fun. I'll just stand like maybe in the hardware store. If we have like an event coming up, I'll just make a whole bunch of flyers and I'll stand in the hardware store and we'll open the window and I'll just throw all the papers out and everybody can catch them and get the news. So look for that coming soon. Anywho, so there's that scene, and it just seemed very AI generated. Like they kind of snapped the picture and you could tell that it wasn't truly falling. And the Wicked director is more than welcome to reach out to me and tell me something different. If you want to tell me that you literally did throw these down and they did try to catch them. Because at the end of the day, if it's supposed to be true, everyone didn't have to catch a piece of paper. If you were throwing pieces of papers down, some people would catch them and some wouldn't, and they would fall to the ground, and that's okay. And that's what I wanted to see. Instead, it was very like they kind of snapped it, and I can't explain it. If anyone has seen it, feel free to make a comment in the thread to see if you were picking up on that. Only at the beginning, and then once it was kind of past that scene, it definitely seemed more natural. It was wonderful. You know, I was in tears by the end. Warning, there's a sex scene. Yeah, spoiler alert. And a sexy sweater. And you'll know it when you see it. There's a sexy sweater. So baby girl Gebler is home from New York City for a whole week. And I'm so excited. So Thanksgiving is a big deal in our family. So she is home. So I am hoping to get her on the couch for a one-on-one interview while she's home to talk about her amazing life in New York City and all about the hobnobs and the people she elbows with and that whole life. Her famous bar that she does social media for and frequents their Juke. So shout out to our Juke bar in New York City. And we're working on getting some staff members from, and you know who you are, from Juke Bar to be a guest on A Piece of Molly's Mind. So we're going to work hard to make that happen. The other day, we were talking about shows, and I know I've talked about this before. I am pure Hallmark, not necessarily Hallmark, but Hallmark style movies right now for the holiday season. I got the tree up. I just ordered the tree that's going to sit here behind here for my next episode coming soon. So I was talking with a staff member and she was saying, oh my gosh, I have this show. I know you will love this show. You need to watch it. It's called Younger. And I started laughing very hard and told my staff member that they needed to sit down because what I was about to share with them was going to literally blow their mind. And I will show it to you right now, and then I'll tell you how it happened. So roll the clip.
Molly, are you there? Hello? Molly, it's your birthday. Today is your birthday. So I just want to take a second here to reach out and say, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Molly, happy birthday to you. I hope today is just fantastic. I hope you are celebrating in any which way that you can in this wild world that we are living in. And more than anything, I hope you celebrate yourself today because you're worth it. Much love.
All right, so I'm sure you're as mind blown as my staff member was. That's not a cameo. That was not paid for. My name and my person was discussed with Nico, who plays Josh. So you're either Team Josh or you are Team Charles. And I've watched it twice now, and I've been Team Josh and I've been Team Charles. I watched it in the Team Charles mindset the second time around, so I encourage you to do that. But Nico, who plays Josh on Younger, my name and me was brought up to him and asked to do by my wonderful daughter and her boss as a birthday gift. I think it was my 50th, I want to say. And my daughter surprised me with that video, and I will bring it out any damn time I feel like I want to share it, because it is. And his message, and he's just lying in bed saying my name. I mean, stop it right now. Oh my gosh. That's pretty much it. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. My sister takes the brunt of most of that, does a phenomenal job. That woman can throw a party. If the party was about an ant that marries a worm, and it would be the best ant worm wedding that you have ever attended. My sister Susan is an incredible hostess. She got it from my mother, who was also an incredible hostess. So we have it at her house. The whole fam comes, and we just enjoy some incredible turkey, which is the same turkey that my grandmother made for us. And we have the recipe, and we make it, and we have prep day. We make everything on Wednesday. Turkey, everything, mashed potatoes. And then on Thanksgiving, it's not hours and hours and hours of cooking. We just warm it up. So we get to spend more time with each other on Thanksgiving Day. And then, of course, we've made Wednesday, prep day, into a family social affair as well. So technically, we really have 2 days of Thanksgiving. I guess I'll say that. Do a theme. We've done a theme 2 years in a row. No, 1 year. Just 1 year. 2 years? I can't remember. But we, from what I know, we have not come. We threw out being a float, that your costume could be a float-inspired costume from the Macy's Day Parade. But I don't know if that is stuck, and if it has, Thanksgiving's in 3 days, and I have no idea. I was thinking of going as Santa Claus. I do have a Santa Claus suit, and he is in the parade as the last person, so maybe I would do that. I don't know. And then baby girl will leave me on Sunday, so we'll spend every waking moment together, and I love it. I love it so much. Time for another episode of Mug Wars. So nobody even mentioned anything about this mug. So this mug is still up for grabs, or you have to tell me if I have to keep it or get rid of it. I will tell you, however, that I saw on Instagram this woman who created, so you know how the little libraries that people have, the little wooden boxes, and it's got books in it, and you could take a book and leave a book, and they're in little developments. We used to have one here at the end of our driveway, and then it fell down, and we've yet to put it back up. So there is a woman on Instagram who obviously has the same obsession that I have with coffee mugs, because she has come up with this very, very clever thing, and I'm going to make mine. Now that I have my jigsaw, I'm going to make my own. And it is a very similar to the idea of the little library. It is a coffee mug exchange. and it looks like a coffee mug. It's very cute. It's a wooden box. It doesn't have to have a door because it doesn't matter if these get wet, but it does have like a little cover. And then it's got a little, well, here's the picture right here of what it looks like. And it has hooks, and she has 6 coffee mugs, and people can take a coffee mug and then leave a coffee mug. And I was thinking that's a perfect way to get rid of some of my coffee mugs. Only if the mug wars doesn't catch on. I really want the mug wars to catch on. So with that being said, this one is still either up for grabs, or you're supposed to tell me if I should keep it or get rid of it. And then the new one is very in the moment right now. So it says, Making Spirits Bright. It's a very big coffee mug. It's got this adorable gold handle. And I just think it's the cutest. I love the little feet here. And I would have to say it's probably my only, no, I have a Spode Christmas mug. So it's one of 2 Christmas mugs that I have that stay in my cupboard all year long. Like, I do not have time, nor do I have the memory to put a Christmas mug away and bring it back out during Christmas time. No, that's not going to happen. So it just stays in the overflowing cabinet all year round. So how do we play Mug Wars? So this is how we play. In the comments, you need to let me know if I can keep it, if I have to donate it, or if you want it, you can have it. I'm just going to give it to you. So maybe this is what we'll do for Mug Wars. We're going to change it. It's either Molly, keep it. Molly, put it in your new little coffee mug exchange box that you're going to make by the next episode. Or I'll take it. I want that coffee mug. It's the cutest thing ever. So that's what you have to put in the comments, okay? So right now, here's the 2 coffee mugs that are in question. All right? And that, my friends, is another episode of the Coffee Mug Wars. Thanks for playing. So thank you for joining me on my little pre-show. I hope that you enjoy this episode of A Piece of Molly's Mind. Totally casual here. Totally casual.
We actually got dressed up for you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. At least from the waist up.
Exactly. I'm in shorts on the waist down.
Folks, I'm beyond thrilled to introduce to you today my guest, actor and TV personality, an icon in Cleveland. And I am totally fan crushing. For Cleveland viewers, you know him as Little John, although I see that you've retired that name in September. So am I allowed to?
No, it's not retired.
Not retired yet. Okay.
Not retired. We did a show, Adios Muchachos, because we never got to say goodbye because COVID hit, and we never got to say goodbye to the public. So we did that show that said Adios Muchachos, Little John. Okay, but I'm still going to be doing shows and commercials and be on TV and that. So Little John is still Little John.
Still alive and well. Growing up, Big Chuck and Little John. I mean, iconic. I was probably not allowed to be watching it, but I did. So I am truly, I'm verklempt.
It's amazing that I've been on 58 years.
You know what? I did the math on that when I saw. Wait a minute! It started. You joined in 1979
as the co-host, but I was on with Hula and Big Chuck in '69. So I've been with Fox 8 ever since. Never went to another station. Never did anything.
Well, when you've got, and we'll talk about that, just the iconic time Tim Taylor was with, because he was Fox, right?
Correct.
My dad was a dentist in Bedford, and Tim was our patient way before when he was a Kirby salesman. and I owe him a text because I want to get him on the show. But it was a time when the TV personalities in local TV, you became so famous. Like it was so. I'm not. Listen, There's no, I'm not smoking. I'm not blowing smoke. You know how
Thank
great
you.
you
Thank
are.
you.
I don't need to tell you, but it truly was when you're talking about you and Chuck and Robin Swoboda, Tim Taylor, the whole morning exchange on Channel 5. Like all those TV personalities were so iconic. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere.
Well, what always amazed me was like, Tim and Wilma and everybody, they were all on 5 days a week. We were on 1 day a week at midnight.
Right. And
And
still got the same glow.
it's amazing. I never thought it would be this like this, but I like it. I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Well, let's talk early. You were born where?
In Cleveland,
Okay. Where, like, exactly? People say Cleveland, but
I went from 110th and Woodland is
okay.
where I grew up. Went all the way through school there,
Where'd you go?
and I went to Anthony Wayne Elementary School and Audubon Junior High School and John Adams High School. Yeah, I'm a true bled
Well, when you
Clevelander,
say Cleveland,
and that was about the same with Chuck. He went all the way through Cleveland's public schools, except he was more on the southeast side there. He went to South High and that. So we're
okay.
both born and raised in Cleveland.
Born and raised in Cleveland, and you were late night, and you were a forbidden show for. I was born in 1970, so I would be under the covers, but it wasn't. You weren't porn forbidden.
Well, the movies were supposed to be a little scary, but our part was definitely PG.
Yes, yes. Was it always horror? The films? Like,
Yeah, that's what it started as. And then as later on, there were packages that the Fox 8 would get, or at that time it was WJW, what they would get. And we'd get the lower tier of the packages because they paid nothing. These are the ones they threw in because they used to have movies. They used to have Saturday night movies
sure.
and that's why we used to always say we'd go down to the Gold Line Film Vault of Fox 8. But we didn't pick the movies. We didn't have any control over that.
If I said they were the B list, the B.
Oh no, keep going.
Yeah. So they weren't. They weren't in the theaters. These were because there is one that my family still talks about, and it was Bad Ronald. Does that ring a bell?
I have to tell you, you could probably ask me all the movies. I never watched them.
Oh my gosh. Bad Ronald was this little boy who the family left or moved away and left Bad Ronald at the house, and he ended up getting in the walls and living in the walls. And
I know what movie you're talking about, yeah.
The next, and we constantly talk about, because my brother's name is Ronald, so we would say, and Bad Ronald. So for those of you who don't know what the hell we're talking about, Big Chuck and Little John was a skit. You were horror hosts, as they called you.
Correct.
It ran from your part. You had mentioned Houlihan and Big Chuck was earlier, but you were 1979 to 2007?
Well, yeah. Actually, our last was when we stopped was 2019. That's when COVID started.
That is just like, that's a ride.
It's a ride. And if I tell you, we never had a contract.
Stop.
Nope.
Nope. I mean, that's unheard of.
We're the only ones. I mean, obviously. And what do we do is, in the early days, it wasn't computerized like everything is now. They would come out with a 3-month sheet and the shows that are going to be for 3 months. And Chuck and I would look at them real quick to see if we're still going to be on.
So you would, and so then you'd be safe for 3 months, and then you wouldn't know if you're going to be safe for the next 3 months?
Well, we sort of figured after a while they'd keep us. But I mean, they could let us, that's how they let us go. They just said bye.
Crazy. And the show aired 11:30. Eventually it became 12:30 when studios changed.
Yeah, it was 11:30 for years and years and years. And then we went to Saturday night at 11:30. Then we did 11:30 on Friday night and noon on Saturday. There were 2 different shows, Couch Potato Theater. And then they brought us back and they moved us up a half hour to 12. Then they started footballing us around. And that, the thing that always amazed me too is they never advertised that Big Chuck and Little John will be on at midnight tonight. They just figured people would find us.
People found you. Well, there wasn't much to
It's not like today where you stream. I mean, there wasn't much to watch, especially that hour.
Right.
You know, once the news was over, you went to bed. The national anthem played, and you went to bed.
Yeah, that was right after our show, the national anthem used to play.
Yeah. So you're married because we saw the
Yes.
lovely bride.
Yeah. 50 years.
50. Oh, God bless you guys. What's the key? What's the
Us? You'd never know with us. Everybody lost their bet on that. Let me tell you. We just go day by day. I mean, and if anybody ever says, and I was in the jewelry business, like, and when people would come in and say, "Oh, we never fight. I could bring 10 guys over. My wife would get out of bed at 4 a.m. and cook that." That's headed for divorce. Okay. You always have differences of opinion.
Right. Oh my gosh. And then kids. Can I tell you that I know you have a Dino?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know how I know that?
Probably in a bar. He's a bartender.
I'm the managing partner at the Inner Chagrin, which is connected to M. Bevy,
where
Dino works. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I haven't even told him. I
haven't said anything either.
Yeah, I'll leave it as a surprise, and then he's a great
Thank you.
Great bartender, great personality, and I see you and him. Yeah, I can totally see your faces are the same. I'm assuming by your last name and Dino's name, you're Italian.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, and hanging with Chuck, who was not, he was Polish. Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
We're last two of the thoroughbreds.
That had to be a dynamic. All right. So, and let's just say, because I'm sure we'll refer to Chuck, we just lost him in January.
Correct. January 19th, on my birthday.
Oh my gosh, really? Yeah. Oh, wow. Did you guys remain friends after?
Very, very close. Very close with it. Yeah. And that,
sorry.
He was basically like a brother more than a friend.
Yeah. Well, for that long of a time being together, I would imagine.
And during our heyday when we were real busy, I saw more of him than I saw my wife.
I'm sure of it. I probably see more of Dino than I see of my husband. So I didn't realize that it was in front of a live audience. That blew my mind.
Yes. Well, up until COVID, when COVID started, then there was no audience.
So
that was deadly.
Who were the people that would?
We had a constant flow of people that wanted to be on the show and audiences and that, Cub Scout group, Girl Scout groups, third grade classes, adults, a lot of adults,
right,
wanted to be on it in the audience and that. So we had no trouble getting audiences, none at all.
And it was live, so these kids would be coming at 12:30, or you taped it?
No, we taped it. Yeah, that's why I said I never watched the show. I mean, I never saw the movies because I did the show. I know it was going to be on. No, we would do them on. Through the years it was a different night, but usually like at 7:00 at night, right after the news, we would tape, and on a Wednesday night or a Thursday night, and then show it on Friday.
You had to have some crazy groupies.
Oh yeah.
So give me a story. What was the craziest experience with a groupie?
Well, how could I say this? There's not really. They were very well mannered. I have to say this, and our audience was very well mannered. Nobody, when we say applaud, they applaud. We say so. They're very well mannered. We never really had a problem, or never had to say, hey, be quiet or anything. And even with the adults, and I'm sure some of them came and had a few pops before they came, and but no, we never had fun. I couldn't even tell you. Okay, I'll tell you one. We had Bill Cowher. I don't know, who Bill Cowher is. Okay, he played football for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
and then he went on to be the Pittsburgh Steelers coach.
Yeah.
Okay, so when he was playing, he was a kid, a young kid, 21. He was in our audience and everything, and he would come with Doug Deacon and those guys. They would come to the show all the time. And we have a tape of him sitting in the audience, and we used to go to the audience and ask questions and give him a little prize or something like that. And we have video of him sitting in the audience going, ooh, 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 pick me, ooh, 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 pick me. And he becomes a, NFL coach, Super Bowl coach, and everything like that. So
you've got the video of that? We need to get that, bring that back.
Well, those are probably all gone now. Let me explain we had one tape. Okay. And at the beginning, it was a 3-inch tape, then a 2-inch tape. Okay, now it's a nothing tape. Okay. And every week we'd tape over the show the week before. And the only time we got a new tape was if it broke.
It was because of budgets?
Who knows with our show? There was no budget. Well,
Like,
no, the recordings were okay, but like any of the props or anything, we made.
Right. Yeah.
It was a one-man show. It was,
So did you write the skits? Did you and
Okay,
Chuck
actually, we have over 2,000 skits. Okay. I wrote 6. Chuck wrote the other ones. But I always tell Chuck, I wrote the 6 funniest.
the best? He wrote the best. And we have to talk about the iconic laugh,
Okay.
which gives chills to me now, even hearing it.
Well, you're too young, but the laugh is actually a guy by the name of Jay Lawrence, who was a radio DJ. And I don't know if he's still alive. He was in California. He moved to California. But one of our engineers heard him laugh on the air and taped it. When he was doing a radio show, he cracked up on something like that. And Chuck was looking for a stinger, like laughing head, da 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 da.
Uh-huh.
And that's what we used for a long time. But he wanted his own, and he got that laugh, and he called Jay and he said, "Yeah, we could use it." And that was it.
Oh my gosh. And then what about the formula that they wrote that kind of came, and then the laugh came, that
always came at the end of a skit. But I mean, if you're doing Ben Crazy, it was man, woman, depending on the skit.
Okay. And did he claim to fame that laugh? Like, did he?
No, he never.
It was like nothing for him.
Now it's copied by everybody. I mean, you go to a Cavs game, you hear it. You go to the Browns game, you hear it. Everybody's got it.
What was he doing in California? Like, was he
DJ? He was a DJ. Yeah, he went to California, became a DJ. I mean, I have to tell you, I never met him.
Really?
I never met him, and I think Chuck met him one time.
Huh.
But that's who did it.
I mean, he could have been like, if he came to Cleveland, he could have like been people would have known him. I mean, he would have
by the laugh. But I have to tell you, you don't know how many people I see daily that imitate that laugh. And we always say the same thing. Hey, if we ever lose that laugh, we'll call you.
Keep the list. What was it? So you taped this at 7:30. You were a family. You had a family. You have a wife and kids. You had your jewelry store, both in Cleveland and in Solon. What was a day in the life for you?
Well, I was very fortunate. I worked 70, 80 hours a week. I mean,
I'm sure.
But I happen to have 2 happy jobs. The jewelry store was happy because people come in and want to buy gifts, get engaged, married, and everything like that. And obviously, I was doing a comedy show and making people laugh, which I enjoy. Ever since I was growing up, I mean, as long as I can remember, my motto was I want to make a person laugh a day, and make somebody smile, and I've been able to do that. So
the skit would be written, and then
yes, nothing is ad lib. Nothing is ad lib. It looks ad lib.
Yes,
nothing is ad lib. Everything is choreographed. And for like a skit, for every minute took an hour. Okay, so like if it's a 3 minutes, that took 3 hours because you run through it, then you do it, you make a mistake, you do it, then they have to edit it and put in post production and put it all together. So it's just not what you see us running around doing.
And are you doing that all during the week? Did you go into the station all during the week?
We did a skit a week, and one day was put aside. We do a skit. And that would be the first skit that we showed on that Friday, and then after that there were repeats and that. But they were fun to do. We and again the things we did you couldn't get away with now. I mean, if we rolled a bowling ball down Euclid Avenue and everything like that, nobody said a word. Okay, we did all the skits on the street. Nobody called in and said, "Hey, these 2 guys are here," or anything. And the police helped us. But we never had to get permits. We never had to get permission. We just did it. And that you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that now.
No, it would be great though. Did you ever get in trouble doing a skit?
No, never.
Even with the network?
No. The only time is we went to Detroit. We did our show in Detroit for 13 weeks. They didn't catch on that certain ethnic meant everybody. So, I mean, the Jewish Defamation League called us. The Alliance of Poles called us. They just never caught on that we're making fun of everybody, not just one person,
Right.
one nationality.
I also didn't realize the guests that you had: Andy Griffith, Muhammad Ali, and of course our Chagrin Falls own Tim Conway. I mean,
Well, Tim and Chuck were very close because they worked together at Fox 8. And I will say this: I met Tim many times. He's the funniest guy I've ever met. Funniest guy. I mean, he was unbelievable. But see, way back, and you notice at the end, we didn't have any stars on our show or anything like that, because what happened was, in the old days, they'd come out with a movie or a new TV series, and they go city to city. The talent would, and they'd go on television stations, they advertise. Like when the circus come to town, they would come. The clowns would come to our show. Okay, well now you go there.
Mm-hmm.
The guy sits in a room for 15 minutes. You get your 15 minutes, get up. Then comes the guy from Colorado. Then comes the guy from Los Angeles. They don't travel like did before.
Did that change with COVID, or was it earlier?
No, way earlier.
Okay. So I saw a clip of the Marvin Lewis interview, and I wanted to break that down for those of you who are watching. He was the coach for the Cincinnati football team. He had made some inappropriate comments about Johnny Manziel. Was Johnny Manziel on our team at the time or no?
Correct.
Yeah.
The only team he's been on.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they always seem to be good when they leave. Although he did it. Nothing against you, Johnny. You're great. But it does seem that after people leave the Browns, I agree. They become great. It was a inappropriate comment about height. Then you went, Fox 8 sent you.
Right. It was a news. It wasn't for Big Chuck Little John. It was actually for the news. The news department.
Right.
Correct.
Was it a joke that you went? Was it an FU? Like, hey, I'm going to sit front row.
Well, you got to understand. Everything to me is a joke. So I
love that.
I wasn't going after or anything like that, and I just thought it'd be funny. Okay, but when I got there, I didn't know any of these news people or anything like that from other, Pittsburgh and that.
Right.
They saw me when I came in, and they cleared the first row and the first seat for me. They said, "This is yours." Okay, so they had it. So I didn't. When he walked in, I was. Bang! I just saw him, and he just, you could see him roll his eyes like, yes. Oh, here it comes. Okay. And then I asked him the question.
And he gave everyone the opportunity at the beginning, and that you didn't say anything then. And then he opened it up for questions.
Well, they do their first 2-minute talk, tell everybody what's going on with the team. Then they open up for questions. Of course, he called here, and they had to call me, and it was like people didn't raise their hand, and they knew they didn't know it was coming. They
didn't know. Okay.
Oh no, nobody knew except obviously Fox 8 because they sent us down there. So
did you always have this confidence with your height? I mean, you have such a confidence. It was never.
Well, my father was the same size I was, everything, and that my uncle, a doctor, and everything like that. And he instilled on me, again, your feet touch the ground, keep going. And it's a big man world, get in it. Mm-hmm. So, no, I never had a problem with height.
And do you think that the comedy became that?
Well, it helped.
To deflect.
It's a Big Chuck and Little John. And my father, when he was growing up and everything, he was in a minstrel show, and, he was in big-time wrestling. He's like a second for the heavyweight champion. So he was in a skits and everything too that he did before. My father was in a couple of skits too that we did.
Did you talk to Coach Lewis after it all? I saw you standing on the sidelines.
It's funny. It's funny how it works. Nobody talks to the coach. I never went to obviously I'm not a sports announcer or anything like that. And how they do it is the guy comes in, he gives his 2-minute speech, he asks questions, then the guy cuts it off. Boom, that's it. Then that's it. You can't talk anymore. And then in Cincinnati, you go on the field, but you don't go on the field. You go and you see them walk by. You have like 10 minutes to talk, and that's it. Then they throw you out, and then they do practice. They do practice in that. So I didn't have time to talk to him. But when I was on that sidelines, when he walked by, and he looked at me and he winked and he says, and I had an R on my hat.
Yes.
And he goes, Rutgers? And I go, no. I says, Rinaldi. And the guy behind him was the punter. And he was from Rutgers. He goes, Rutgers, like this. But that was all the interaction.
That was it. There was no personal apology to you or anything like that.
You know what? And I still say there was no reason for him to apologize.
Right.
He just made a comment. He's
Right.
short. Johnny Manziel was short.
And that was in 2014. So now the guy would be arrested and fired. I mean, you know what I mean? It just has come so far.
Right. You just can't say anything. You can't say, hey, that's a nice dress anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, my dress yesterday wasn't nice. I mean, there's just nothing.
Yeah. So, out of all the years that you were on Big Chuck and Little John, there's got to be some fun stories. Like, where did you guys hang after the
basketball games or anything we played?
And you couldn't have gone anywhere without somebody knowing you.
Yeah, but the people in Cleveland were very kind. They would come up, ask for an autograph or something like that. Nobody ever harassed us. Nobody ever, and when we did shows, no, that's not, no. And like, there was a time there, like when John Lennon got shot and everything like that, and everybody was worried that they wanted bodyguards, or like Tim Taylor got a bodyguard and Tana Carley got a bodyguard. And they asked Chuck, and I go, no. So look, we don't need bodyguards. I said, the last thing in the world is, take a step back. They take a step forward, crowds, when you say that. No, we never had a problem. But again, I was the only one not isolated. No, I had a jewelry store. You can come in and see me anytime you want.
Right.
They were been behind a station, behind a fence, and locked in, and even if they wanted to escape or anything. No. But like Jan Jones, she's out in the public, and she's all over. She's all around. I mean,
love me some Jan Jones. Oh my gosh, she is now my agent.
Well, she can get anybody.
All you have
to do is pick up the phone and call, because everybody loves Jan.
She just is incredible. I mean, I've known her years ago when, I don't know, I was doing something, and she came, I forget who else it was, and she was, it was some fundraiser, and we had her as a host, and she came in with literally this full length sequin gown. Fell in love with her from that day forward. And
people ask me, well, is she really like that? She's like that all the time. Just like what you see with me is what you get. Her and I are probably the only two real people.
I love it. You are no longer in Cleveland. You have retired from the jewelry business.
Right. But I still live in Cleveland.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So you're just a snowbird.
Correct.
Okay.
I come down here in October for a month just to open up, get everything settled, and then leave Thanksgiving, and then come back after Christmas.
Okay.
After New Year's, and stay here till the end of May. That's it. But I'm in Cleveland all summer and everything. Okay. Cleveland's my home. I mean, I never became a Florida resident or anything like that.
You're just a snowbird just because of the cold.
I hate cold. I know the weather's in Cleveland isn't pretty good. It's been 55, 60 and everything like that. That's our low here.
I know. When did you retire? When did you close the store? Jewelry store?
February 14th, 2017.
Okay. I mean, I would think retirement for you, like, it just seemed like your life was always...
Well, like I said, I didn't retire. I still do all kinds of things.
You still do it. Okay.
I still dabble in jewelry a little bit. I still, I'm off. For some reason, I leave the house at 8 o'clock in the morning, come home at 5. I don't know what I do, but it's not every day like that. Right. I can keep a day busy. And
I bet.
And as you get older, you keep the day busy going to doctors.
Yeah, I hear you there. Still doing meet and greets and...
Oh, yeah. Not as many.
Okay.
Not as many. At one time, we were very, very, very busy. Okay. And now I still have my regular one. And I have ones that I've been doing for 25 years, 30 years to still go back. Garrettsville, summer home, a lot of those. And it's fun. I like seeing people. I like meeting people. And
are people still, is there a younger generation?
Well, there's like we're in our fifth generation. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's
But,
got to be a cult following for
but
sure.
it's like my father watched, my grandfather watched, or, now okay. And the biggest kick I get, and the middle group now is like I'd say the 18 to the 25-year-olds, and that they make it like they never saw me in their life or something like that. It's not cool or anything.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing for me is like a kid 9 years old, 10 years old who goes, "Wow, are you the guy on TV?" And that, yeah, I get a big kick out of that.
I love that. Are you doing any commercials anymore?
I do, but nobody's called me. I just got a call from a tree service and everything like that, and I had to turn it down because I do a tree service, in Chagrin Falls.
Okay. What was the wildest thing that ever happened while you were on the air?
We've done some shows that we didn't record,
Oh, really?
right, and forgot. We're
Oh
ready
my
to leave the
God.
building. They say, "Oh, we forgot to roll the tape."
You had to redo it all over again?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Not a lot, only a couple. But
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, it's an easy thing. I have my little post that says record right there. So, like, were you able to stop and redo? Or
no. How we did the show was we ran through it. The actual sit down part. Hi, kitties. Okay. We sat down, ran through it once, because that's the first time I saw it. I never saw it before that. Chuck wrote it and everything. Okay. And then we do it. Unless there was a major guffaw, that was it. And then we'd start the next one and do it and everything. And we'd cue the audience and everything like that. But
any time that you were like, I don't know how you couldn't laugh.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did.
I mean,
but I'll tell you the most bizarre was, and this had nothing to do with the Big Chico John, but we were on the air with the WVIZ auction, and and they had before us, they had this guy with a chimpanzee. And I don't know if you've ever seen a chimpanzee. They're as big as me. They're not these little cute little monkeys that run around. And we're standing there on one side of the studio and the chimpanzee on the other side of the studio, and I could see this thing just glaring at me. And I told Chuck, I said, this thing doesn't like me. I said, I'm telling you right now, there's something about this thing. I said, and if this chimp gets loose, I'm going to cork him. And I grabbed a mic stand. I was going to hit him with a mic stand. And then Chuck, oh, you can't do that on here. I said, baloney, I can't do it. I didn't say it like that. And baloney, I can't do it. Well, the guy goes on right before us, and this chimpanzee goes crazy. And he charges at me and everything like that. And the guy's holding him back. And Chuck thinks this is funny. I said, this ain't funny. This thing could rip my
tear
face
you apart. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, like that. So that was the most bizarre thing when we were taping. Okay, and even though it wasn't our show,
Right.
the most bizarre thing when we were live somewhere. Okay, we used to be the ringmasters for the circus when it came to town. We'd go out and welcome the crowd on behalf of Fox 8 or WJW and everything like that. Well, I didn't know that there's a red circus and a blue circus. Okay, and they alternate years. They used to. Okay, now the red circus had, I don't know which one is which, but the red circus, let's say, had more animals in it. Okay, the blue circus had more acrobats in it and tumbling and everything like that. And they'd flip flop, but they all had clowns, Okay, so and here I am in the capital of the world of circuses down here. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, we got there. We were there every day, so we got to go in the back and talk to people, and so we made friends with people and the clowns and everything. They were the most friendly, and Gunther was very good to us. So anyway, so we're talking. So the clowns, and had these little midget clowns and everything like that, and so I got to know the guy, and I can't remember his name now. Let's say Frank or something like that. And I met his wife. They all have something to do. They all have work. I mean, like who cleans the train? Who does? They all have a job. Okay, nobody's
Even the
just
clowns.
Yeah, or anybody in the circus. They all have when they travel on a train, they do something to make money, like clean the cars or whatever they do. Okay, so anyway, so we became friends. So now the next year comes around, and I'm sitting in the stands watching rehearsal and everything like that, and a clown goes by, and I swore it was this Frank. And I said something like, hey, buddy, hey, how's your wife Ethel doing or whatever? Okay. And he comes flying at me.
Oh my God.
Goes flying at me. What the hell is this? And so one of his buddies stopped him and everything like that. And I thought, we're going to get in a fight over this. And I go, what happened? He goes, I just divorced my wife, everything. And I said, oh, what? And I go, well, then I saw him. I said, well, you're not Frank. he goes, I never met you and everything. So you're making fun of me and everything like that. And I said,
Wasn't even the right guy.
yeah.
Oh,
And I said, no.
I don't know. You in fights. It sounds
Well, that's
like
what Chuck. Well, that was part of this was a shtick we did with when we fought Mike Tyson.
yeah, let's break that down. I mean, how did that even become? He was a Clevelander or lived in Cleveland, right?
Well, he had a place in Cleveland. Yeah, he wasn't from Cleveland. So with Don King, he was with Don King,
Oh, right.
his manager. They were having a voter registration, the city of Cleveland, and George Ford put this thing together. Him and Fannie Lewis, who was a councilwoman, and George Forbes was council president. And they put this thing together that they're going to have this big affair for voter registration and everything like that. And what they're going to do is put on this exhibition boxing match at John Adams Field, which was my high school. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
And they were going to have Gary D, who was a radio DJ at the time, Lynn Tolliver, who was another DJ from on a black radio station, and Chuck and I fight them. Okay. So we had a meet in George Forbes's chambers at City Hall and everything like that. And it was a big press conference and everything after that. And Chuck and I always figured something out to do. In other words, like we didn't just walk in and say hi and everything like that. We had a plan of what we were going to do and everything. And it usually was me as the brunt of the thing. And so we had this all worked out. And so anyway, so we sit in this office in George Forbes' office and everything. And Tyson comes in with 2 bodyguards, like somebody's going to beat him up. Okay. Everybody else was by themselves. And so Gary D started talking and everything like that. I fought Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson says, you're an old man. I ain't worried about you. And then he looked at Chuck and he goes, you're a big man. He said, I'm going to have to hurt you. And then Lynn Tolliver, he goes, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. He goes, I have a family and everything like that. He said, I ain't going to worry about you. Then he looked at me and he goes, I'm going to knock you out. Okay. Everybody's laughing. Okay. And then there's other things. So then we go out and do the press conference. Okay. So there's, Gary D on the side. I'm sitting next to Don King, and next to Don King on the other side is Mike Tyson. Chuck sitting next to me, and okay, down on the dais there. So he starts talking, like Mike Tyson always talks trash and everything like that. Now we had a choreograph that as soon as it was our turn to talk, I was just going to jump up, fly across the table, and Chuck was going to hold my belt. And so I'm trying to get to him and I can't get to him and everything like that. And I started with, and I did it, boom, right on cue, jumped up, Chuck grabbed my belt and I'm going after. I said, you ain't no champ, you a chump. And I'm going after, I'm screaming at it. And he gets this big look on his face. And then Don King starts cracking up. And then Mike Tyson obviously laughs and everything. So that was, the little bit that we had. And then when it came to the day of the fight, we didn't want to just drive into the set. So we came in by helicopter. And landed and everything. And we have video of all that. We do have video.
And you knocked him out.
No.
I saw it.
I got to hit him.
That's crazy. And Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, Muhammad Ali was in a skit. He was in a skit with us.
Yeah.
Well, all of them were. But again, it was easy because I knew Giacchetti, which was his trainer from Cleveland, and I called him and I said, hey, John, could he do a skit? He goes, yeah, we'll pick a time, he'll come up and do it. We'll tell him.
Would you say Muhammad Ali was the most iconic person
at the time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
At the time,
you
everybody
guys were
around
national,
the world. No,
right?
We weren't national. We're local.
I mean, that for a local broadcast to have that.
But again, that's back then. You couldn't, we had athletes. We had athletes on the show. We had, we'd see athletes. We'd go out with athletes, but not now. I mean, these guys are distant.
Who else? Like Andy Griffith, we said Tim Conway.
Oh, we had Chill Wills. We had
Rinaldi.
Chill Wills. These are all older guys because, like I said, the younger guys didn't come on. We had
Yeah.
Lawrence Welk, Paul Anka.
Ooh,
We had all of those on
crazy.
our show, and they all did skits. They all said,
Yeah.
and obviously Tim Conway.
Did they come out and interview in an interview style, or did they just show up in a skit?
No, what they did is they would be there for the interview, and then we'd ask them, "Would you be a skit?"
Okay.
Or call our agent or something like that if we had to do it the next day or something like that. And everybody, I can't remember anybody saying no. And that
Okay.
because they explained it to them, and I think they showed them a couple things that we did. And that Lawrence Welk tap danced and played the accordion, and so and a couple guys just did one-liners. That's
Right. You keep yourself busy still.
Well, I'm still, like I still golf and I fish and and it's funny in Cleveland I very rarely go grocery shopping. Okay, very rarely. Okay, down here I like go.
Because
Who knows? I just don't go grocery shopping. Okay, I mean I do go to the store, but not like down here. I go every 2 days. I mean, hey, it's a happening. It's something to do. I mean,
you
gives
just
something.
not eat when you're here in Cleveland?
No.
What's going on?
Yeah, it just I'm okay. I'm more busy in Cleveland, obviously, because I know more people and we do more things.
Right.
I do lunches with guys and we go out, that. And down here, there's not that many that I know.
Chuck,
You cut into my cocktail hour. I will say that.
You're always allowed to have a cocktail on my show, for sure. I encourage that. All right, so we're going to do a little quick question. If you have a couple more minutes with me. All right. So, what happened when you realized I've made it big? What was that moment?
Well, I'll tell you, I never thought I made it big. I still don't. I mean,
Really?
I am popular. I will say that. But it was a time that it was Dick Goddard, Chuck, and I, and Goddard came up and said, "Hey," he said, we made the top 10 most recognizable people in the city of Cleveland. And obviously Goddard was number one. Okay. And then he never told us where we were, but he said we're in the top 10. So I used to tell Chuck that I'm the most recognizable number one in Cleveland. And when I'm downtown Cleveland, which I go a lot, I still go downtown a lot. I still get my hair cut down there. I still, do things down there. And people honk their horn and I wave and everything. And I start singing "My Town." And this is
I love it.
my city. I enjoy Cleveland.
Yeah. What's your favorite spot to eat?
No, you know what? Everybody asks me. I do not have favorites of anything. I don't have a
Okay.
favorite color. I don't have a favorite restaurant. I don't have a
Child?
favorite. No, there's a lot. I do everything.
Because do you go to different places, different
Always.
restaurants and stuff? Yeah.
Always. And again, I go to too many places. That's my problem.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Any outrageous requests from a fan? Has anybody ever asked you, other than me asking you to be on the podcast?
No. I mean, besides, and again, that was in my younger days and everything like that. Besides signing women's body parts.
Was there some of that? That's what I want, John.
Yeah, no, there was that.
Throwing.
No, there was that. Sign this, sign that, and everything. So, which they did. I mean, there's no problem there.
Right. Yeah.
But again, now you can't.
No.
You can't. Well, like I was working for a beer company, and then COVID came. And then after COVID, I couldn't go back with the beer company because you can't touch anybody anymore. You can't hug anybody, put your arm around them. That's what my whole shtick was, taking pictures with you, hugging you, and, things like that.
Yeah. Well, when you come back from Cleveland, you owe me a hug.
Okay, not a problem.
What are you binging? You said you like to watch a lot. What are you binging?
Oh, no, I binge watch action movies, everything. I'm right now, my two, of course, I'm caught up with them. Right now, my two are Tulsa Kings and Landman.
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 more episodes in that. But
has Landman, the next one, come out yet or no?
This month,
Okay.
November 18th or something like that. I don't know the exact.
Got to get up to date so that you can. That's the problem. Like, I literally have a note in my phone of shows that I watch, and then I have to put my list because You have to wait a year. I forget by then.
Well, it's funny is because, well, down here and Cleveland too, if you record, I record everything.
Yeah.
So this way I could fast forward through the commercials and, all this. And same thing with sporting. I watch every Cleveland sporting event, everyone. But I tape them and I tell people,
don't talk to me.
Don't call me. I mean, I turn my phone upside down, and the reason I turn my phone upside down because it'll blink. Fox 8 will put the Indians are winning 3-2. No, so I okay. Then everybody goes, "Geez, I tried to call you." Well, I didn't watch the game yet, and I watch it.
Because you want to fast forward the commercials?
Yeah. How I do it is, a football game, I will start 1 hour after it starts. And then I listen to all the commentary, fast forward through the commercials, fast forward through halftime, and I'll catch up to 5 minutes of the live action. Okay, if I watch it like that. If other times I just tape everything, so I get to see a lot in a day.
Right, right.
And I do binge, and I watch like an 8-part series in a day.
Oh yeah.
I go to bed so late. So if I start at 5 in the afternoon and go to bed at 2 in the morning, I watched it.
I just did the second season of the Kristen Bell. Nobody Wants This. It's very good. Very good. A guilty pleasure.
Almost everything I do is guilty pleasure. and that, I mean, I eat
ice cream at night, or
oh no, my whole thing is I eat everything. If it don't move, I eat it, and that's my problem.
Amen.
I don't eat a lot, but I eat a lot often. I eat, so, but I mean, I have donuts for breakfast. I have, I'm last night I had scrambled eggs and bacon for dinner. I just had a taste for that.
That's my husband. Do you cook?
Grill.
Okay.
I grill. I do. My wife is a fabulous cook. Fabulous. And we go out a lot. Like we probably 3 to 4 nights a week. So, go out. And again, everybody says, "What's your favorite restaurant?" I don't have one. And
not one that you would go if you could only go to one for the.
Well, I have special occasion restaurants that I only go once in a while. Like Giovanni's. Okay.
I've got to get back there. Growing up, that's where our proms were, and just recently, I've heard them mentioned a lot more again.
I think that it's one of the finest restaurants, and still for sure. And I still wear a sport coat, and I still go dressed. And Carl's a great restaurateur, and I like Crew. These are again. I go to Giovanni's more because sometimes I'll sit at the bar and have a drink and an appetizer or anything like that. But I go to Crew. You got to go for a meal. I don't go for drinks and that. I'm always in that area, Flower, and so.
We're so lucky in the Chagrin area and a little bit beyond.
Oh yeah, no, it's.
Just
Cleveland's got some great restaurants, and I will say this: Sarasota also.
Yeah,
there's not a lack of restaurants down here.
All right. So, if you could only watch one Cleveland team for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Wow, that's tough. I'd have to say the Browns. Obviously, the Browns would be the one, and that. But I like them all. I mean, and during the seasons, like I said, and I did watch the World Series, but I just watch Cleveland teams. And the Cavaliers are going to be good. I'm telling you right now.
I'm excited.
They're going to be good.
Excited.
Excellent.
Biggest advantage that you got to take advantage of, or biggest opportunity you got to take advantage of?
Being short.
Well, I mean, being on the show, what was the biggest opportunity?
You get to do things that you normally wouldn't do. The average person couldn't do. We got to see the circus, and we got to go behind the scenes. We go into the zoo. We go behind the scenes. So you get to see things that the average person. Like one of the fascinating things for me was that the history museum, the art museum. We got to go in the bowels of I got to go into and see all the jewelry. I mean, what you see out is nothing compared to what they have buried in the basement. And I got to see.
Don't tell anybody where it is.
No, it's in the art museum. It's in the basement. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Yeah. Being a jeweler, does your wife have a big diamond?
No, not that big.
No.
It's not that
Okay.
big. And again, we were understated, and and we have jewelry. I mean, and but now, and seriously, as you get older, you wear less and less because we're not. Again, when was the last time your husband and you went out and had a tuxedo,
Right.
black tie affair? So that's what people used to buy jewelry for, to get all
Right.
dressed up, go to an affair. But nobody goes. It's a casual society now.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to the opera not this was last season. Went to the opera last season. The guy sitting next to me had shorts on.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day when you went to the mall or the, Higbee's, we talk a lot about, especially with the holiday season, we talk about the windows and downtown Cleveland. And I mean, my grandparents dressed up when you went shopping.
When I first started in Germany, I worked for Colin Hubbard and at Severance. Okay. We had a doorman, first of all, and I have pictures, everybody shopping in suits and ties and dresses. Okay. When we used to go to football games, we'd wear a suit and a sport coat and a tie. And that. Of course, I'm old now. You got to understand that.
Wow, come on. All right. Well, last question. Actually, I have two. If you had a dinner and you can invite 3 people, dead or alive, who would be your 3 guests?
Is God one of them?
He can certainly be there.
Okay. It'd be God, Bob Hope. I think that's the greatest. And the
Clevelander,
third.
yes? Clevelander?
Yeah. Well, you know what though? Again, since I'm doing fictitious characters, I'd invite the devil.
What would be a question for him?
Well, I know. I said, okay. I heard that you had a beef with this guy. That's why you split, and he sent you down there. Can't you guys patch it up?
Let's talk it out.
Yeah. Can't you guys? It's like the U.S. government now. Can't you guys talk this out?
Yeah, I love it. Devil and God, I love it. And Bob Hope and you could be
He
the.
was my hero. He was my,
Yeah.
Here's a guy that I wish I had his talent. He was very talented. But here's a guy that he didn't act. He didn't swear. He didn't, everything was clean. Everything was nice. And a very charitable guy.
Yeah.
And you've never heard anything bad about him.
So true. If you had a platform, well, you do, and you wanted to say anything to the folks in Cleveland, your fans, your admirers, what would you say to them?
I'd probably tell them, thank you. Thank you. I mean, you did more for me than I did for you. I mean, my fans were everything to me. And I enjoy them.
And they're still here. I'm one of your fans. So thank you so much for.
No problem. Thank you.
Visit your son at MBEV when you come back. Pop over and say hello to me at the end. And well, thank you so much, and thank you, your wife, for allowing me this time with you. And
thank you. It's been very, very. It's easy to talk to you. It's very easy.
Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me.
All right. Thank you
so much. I'll keep you posted.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.